Hello and welcome to task 72. We are going to be creating an eccentric pair cam. No, sorry, not a pair cam, an eccentric cam. And as you can see from our picture of an eccentric cam, it looks very much like the circular cam, but the hole is at a bit of an offset. The hole is not centered on the cam, the hole is off center. So our job is going to be to define how far off center is it. That's part of the dimensions that we'll be looking at. So if you remember, we had been looking at different types of cams. We already made a circular cam. We're now working on the eccentric cam. And we want to look at, as I said, this offset. The center of the cam is going to be 1/4 of the diameter length off center. So the distance from the center of the cam to the center of the axle hole is equal to 1/4 of the diameter, or the diameter divided by 4. So we are going to apply some of the same dimensions that we used in our last project, where the diameter is going to be 2.5 inches, the axle diameter will be 1/4 of an inch, and then the thickness of the cam will be 1/4 of an inch. And in this case, the offset is going to be the diameter divided by 4. So let's go ahead and create our eccentric cam. We are going to navigate to our classwork folder, create a new document. We'll call it task 72, eccentric cam, and put your name on your project, of course. So from here, I'm just going to start with a sketch that does not have dimensions yet. So we're going to create, we need my circle tool. We're going to create a circular cam like this, and we're also going to create a circular axle hole, which is not at the center, like this. And now that I have my initial sketch done, I'm going to use some variables to define these different components. So the first variable we're going to call cam diameter. I'm going to make it 2.5 inches. The next variable I'll call axle diameter. We'll make that 0.25 inches. We're going to have a thickness that is going to be 0.25 inches as well. And then we're going to have the offset, which I would like to make the cam diameter divided by 4. So we just got that calculation done for us, which is nice. Okay, so now that we have all of those variables defined, let's go ahead and apply them. So I'm still in sketch 1 over here. You can see my different variables are in my sidebar. I'm going to use my dimension tool and define the dimension of my cam diameter to be this cam diameter variable. Great. Let's define the diameter of our axle hole to be the axle diameter. And then we need the distance from the center of the cam to the center of the axle hole, and that is equal to the offset that we defined, which is the diameter divided by 4. And it looks like everything is defined. I wanted to just show one example of how these relationships are helpful. Let's say that I changed my diameter. For some reason, I need to have a bigger cam. And I still want to have the axle hole offset to be 1/4 of the cam diameter. So let's say I change this to, say, twice the size, 5 inches. My cam diameter's axle hole has changed in its offset value. It was 0.625, you may recall. Now it has doubled in the same way that my cam diameter doubled. So it just goes to show how this offset will stay in proportion to the size of the cam, because that is how it was defined, right? It's defined to be the cam diameter divided by 4. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change my diameter back to 2.5 inches as it was before. And I'm going to accept my sketch. I can extrude now. And the diameter is going to be the thickness value. So once you have this all set, you're going to want to etch your name into your cam. When you are ready to take your screenshot, make sure dimensions are visible. I need sketch 1. You can choose show dimensions. And make sure hidden lines are showing. You can choose hidden edges visible. All right, so this is what we're looking for, with your name showing, of course. Good luck with the project.